We have a new one on the program now. His name is WiL, capital W, small I, capital L. WiL is a lifelong career in Canadian music, and he's got a rare feat he'd love to talk about, and this is why he's here. How you doing, my man?
I'm very good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Nice to see you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So have you been doing some tour? Have you been touring around this week? Have you been having some fun?
Yeah, well, just, doing what all us musicians do is, you get out and you do the shows when you can, and came off a really wonderful tour with, oddly enough, speaking of Canadiana, Burton Cummings did a bunch of Western Canadian theater runs, dates with him, and it was pretty remarkable. And then back on the island where we're from, and then Vancouver Island, that is, and then came out here for this massive gala of goodness, and it's been pretty cool, actually. It's been really cool.
Great. Burton Cummings, wow.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
How old's Burton now?
He's 74.
And he still keeps rocking, eh?
Honestly, man, I swear to you, like, it's my dad's music, all that kind of stuff, but you don't know, expletives here, okay?
Fuck yeah.
Okay, we don't know. It's sort of like, I never really realized anything until I stood at the side stage every night and watched him and was there present physically, right? And my wife's dancing and just, it's like one song after another. He doesn't phone it in. He hasn't dropped his keys. If I could have lived 1,000 years and written a song like These Eyes, are you fucking kidding me? Like that, just had to have that one song for any musician, and that's the best thing you've ever done in your life, just that one tune. That's a pretty phenomenal life to have written that song, and he's got so many of them, and I was blown away. And I'm gonna stop talking now because I'm not washing his balls. I'm telling it like it is. It was completely and utterly breathtaking every night. He killed it. Wow, at
70 plus years old.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a great. There's some guys who are just meant to rock their whole lives.
Yeah, I think he needs to do that. I really believe strongly that he needs to do that all the time.
This is your 5th studio album that's out right now, right?
That's correct.
So the longevity in Canadian music, how long have you been playing for?
I'd say legitimately, like I was a late bloomer. Mm-hmm. I didn't really start playing and honing any kind of craft till I was about 20, maybe 18, 20 kind of thing. Like pick it up and then don't put the instrument down and try to get through something off of the wall, like play along to one of your favorite records. But playing live in front of people, it's kind of one of those, it really started in around 1990. Legitimately, and I haven't stopped since that. So however long that is. And
so about 25 years, I guess. But and while you're growing this career and you've had a lot of success in touring with some of the biggest names in the business, how has it changed for you with this adaptation now of how a lot of it goes online, including, you have 3.5 million YouTube video hits on some of your videos and stuff? Yeah, well,
that number of hits is directly related to the Travel Alberta people too, though. Like that's having been in an amazing position to provide music to.
That was your song Rome, right?
You bet, yeah. That and you get an opportunity to put some music to something that they've done, and then it carries. And they'll say that my song has helped them, and I'll say that they're the ones. The footage is the shit, and it's wicked, and it's why people love it. But it was a great combination, a perfect storm of a moment. And I know that kind of those sorts of hits nowadays in the world of tubes is pretty small potatoes, but it's mind-boggling for my wife and I.
But a lot of people must come up to you, Will, and say, "Wow, that song, that's from that Travel Alberta."
Totally.
So they recognize it, and so they've been a fan of yours. And cross-promotional stuff for any artist in this country, especially, is the most important thing because it is. There's so much entertainment to find. It's tough to make it.
It's insane, and if it wasn't for my wife doing all the online stuff, because I am a bit of a probably partly to do with just out of spite, and also 45 years old almost. In August I'm 45, and I'm not going to say old school by any stretch, but because I love the technology and I've embraced it, and I know these are Genelecs and they're amazing speakers, but I don't let it define me, and I'm not represented by the hypothesis of what someone thought their neighbors, babysitters, guinea pigs, friends, owners, mums, daughters, fucking gnats, fucking cousins, grass cutter said at 4:00 on Wednesday 3.5 years ago when we were talking that one time about the guy who exploded. Like that's so irrelevant versus being here in front of you.
Yeah,
I can see your eyeballs and I can see your mouth and I can see you sitting here and we're communicating and that's fundamentally what performing live represents and is. Like you can't change that or manipulate it and steal it in a weird way because you're standing in front of someone, hopefully moving them for a minute.
Do you think, Will, the joy of actually going out to perform live to get that immediate reaction is being lost? Is it in the music scene at all?
It's never going to be lost because the funny thing about that is that's naturally what we do as human beings, even though we call this social, online social interaction. Social. What's the real term for the whole encompassing thing that all this stuff
Trolling.
is? Oh, trolling?
No.
Okay, so whatever it is, in a weird way, it's kind of doing the opposite by way of us not physically being with each other. So I think we end up writing ourselves by being human and having the instincts to still want to not put our dicks in a robot, but actually get in the mind of a young woman and have a lustful, beautiful existence physically first and foremost, right? Falling in love, right? Seeing boobies and going, those are, I don't know why they're so incredible because I have them too, but those are just remarkable. And I guess, is it because they're yours and they're not mine that I want them in my mouth? I just don't know. And I don't believe that it's going to be purely and ultimately all of us being shuttled or hiding ourselves into little dark corners as pods, just being in the great wide world web of information. We'll eventually write it by yearning to fall out of a tree and break our arm and then hold hands and then jump in a cold body of water and fall out of the back of a pickup truck because you drank too much with your friend.
Yeah, which is a great
That's
night,
what we do
always.
physically.
Unless you're with Jay's friends. He told us a story about a buddy when he fell out drunk and they did weird
real
things.
Quick.
Go.
Real quick. They started painting his face and then other stuff, and then it ended up in them jerking him off. Very strange.
And they jerked him off?
With Nutella.
Then he knew?
No, he's passed out.
He's passed out getting jerked off.
Yeah.
Did he finish?
I don't know. I finished asking questions.
Did
once
you
the
get
jerking
slightly? Were you slightly aroused by it?
off. No, I wasn't the one getting jerked off. I just watched.
You just watched it.
I just watched.
Yeah, that's so we're good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, that's so wicked, and it's a true story.
True story.
With Nutella.
With the toilet paper rolls, it's peculiar.
It's just, see, that's physical.
That's that.
You know, and you know, if you animated that shit, it wouldn't be nearly as impressive.
There's no app for that.
There's definitely no.
Oh, hey, sorry, I was just counting to one. My name's Roddy. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, because it's so much fun. You'll have a great time there.